now.
Hello, my friends, Gary Girls, and fellow poets. Welcome back to Conversing with Poets. My YouTube dashboard is saying that the stream health is really, really bad. So, if you're lagging right now, I apologize. Let me turn off my preview. That might help somewhat. But, or maybe my internet is just being very poor tonight. Usually that only happens on storm nights, but there's no storm or anything. Yes, uh, yes, everyone on this fun Sunday poetry loving day. Hi, Genevieve. Hi, Delgo. Hi, class. Hi, Ghost of a Goddess. Hello, Mark. Hello, Dazzle. I've never had a super chat waiting for me before stream before, so thank you so much, Dazzle in the Dark, for the super chat. Nice. You're a legend. My hair's grown quite a lot since I filmed that clip. So yeah, I really apologize if the stream is laggy and it's struggling. I don't know why. I haven't changed any of my settings. I haven't changed anything since our ride-along, and the ride-along went fine. So not sure what's happening. Not sure why the internet is super weak right now. Hopefully we'll get through the stream in one piece. But yeah, thank you so much for that super chat, Dazzle. I really, really appreciate it. And if you like what we do here on the channel and you'd like to send a super chat, I would really, really appreciate it. We have a goal of 5 super chats tonight. And if we get 5 super chats, I'll stay live an extra hour. Hopefully that's incentive. Maybe it's not. Maybe you want me all to, especially with the stream health, maybe you all want me to leave stream. I don't know, leave YouTube. But hello everyone, thank you so much for hitting that like button as well. We've got 6 likes, but we do have 9 people watching, so some of you haven't yet hit that like button. You break my heart. If you haven't hit that like button, I'd really, really appreciate it. It's completely free, but it does genuinely help me. Check out that subscriber count, rising and rising and rising, and yes, it is because you're all liking my videos, you're leaving comments, and I really, really appreciate it. Things are going so well with the channel right now, and I see those likes going up, so thank you so much. All fine on my end. Oh, well, that's good, class. My end is, it's very, very bad, but as long as it's going out okay, then we're all good. So what topics do we have tonight? I have a load of news bulletins. And then tonight we're going to talk about The Poet's Purse. That was the original title, but I want to use these celebrity names to try and get more clicks, right? So The Poet's Purse got axed, but we're going to talk about The Poet's Purse, and what do I mean by that? I mean poetry exercises to keep in our pockets, keep in our purses when we're struggling to write and we need to just pull something out of the hat. We're going to share poetry exercises. I'm going to share some of my poetry exercises, and I'm really hoping that there's some people in the chat willing to share some of their favorite yawn count. Yawn tally number 1. I'm really hoping that there's some people in the chat that might want to share some of their favorite poetry exercises too, because I'm always on the lookout for new exercises. And if you're watching playback, don't forget, leave a comment. Whatever we're discussing tonight, if you have your own thoughts, leave them in a comment down below. I'll read them and reply, and maybe some of the poets here in the chat might come back to the playback and read your comments too. So don't be shy. Feel free to jump in with the conversation. As always, I've slowly phased out saying this, but I need to get back into it. As always, don't be shy. Share your opinion. If it differs from everybody else, then it's even more important that you share your opinion. But everyone, we do so in a respectful manner. We're all poets. We're all here to have a good time. So be respectful. And we don't discuss politics and religion as well, because they can be quite divisive at times. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to talk about poetry. We're going to have a good time. We're going to be with our friends. So before we get started, I want to know, how's everyone's week been? How's everyone? I feel like we haven't done this in a while. Yeah, because it was my birthday last weekend, which was amazing. I just made an Instagram post today about it. So if you're not following me on Instagram, Adam Gary Poetry, come and give me a follow. But yeah, I haven't seen you guys for 2 weeks, other than the ride along we had earlier today. I haven't seen you guys for a while. So how have your weeks been? I'll use plural. I'll throw an S at the end of that. How has everyone's weeks been? Oh, I'm gonna lose my stream deck. Deck. I said deck, I swear. I promise you I said deck. I almost had a nap twice today. Before Ride Along stream and between streams as well. I almost had a little nap. Little nap. Hello everyone, fashionably late to the stream. Danny, late again. You were, I think you were late to the Ride Along. If you wasn't late, then I apologize. Oh, my phone screen is locked. I've got to get mod chat up, sorry. Uh, where can I put this now? Because I've changed my setup ever so slightly. Hi, Danny. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just being cheeky. I have calmed down a little bit since Ride Along. I don't know what was going on in the Ride Along. I was in a weird mood, but I think I've got it out of my system now. I'm just tired now. Quite good. That's good. Quite good. Oh, I need to add the new channel members to the chat again. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta just change the channel member text at the bottom of the screen. Let me just do some adjusting. Gotta do some adjusting, and I just took my shoe off. Sorry, I know Danny put something in the chat, but if I don't do it right now, I'll forget for another 3 weeks or so. So we got some new channel members, which is great. And we got to add them downstairs in the rolling text. By the way, if you really want to support the channel and you have the means to, you can become a channel member by clicking the $ under the chat. I'd really, really appreciate that. It all goes to making bigger and better content for you guys, like the Wordsworth video that is coming soon. Right, I think that's everything, right? And then I just gotta do this like that, and then we should be in business. Cool. These past few weeks have been a roller coaster, but has ended somewhat on a high with Mitch getting his new bike. Nice. Thank you, Mark. Happy belated birthday, class. Wait, it was class's birthday too. I remember you saying you had a May birthday. Yeah, we all had the birthday around the same time. I've been having a great week. Awesome. My birthday was this Friday. Happy belated birthday, class. Everyone wish class a happy birthday. Send lots of cake in the chat. I'm sure there's a birthday cake emoji. I just been celebrating even this evening. I think birthdays should be a celebration throughout the month. A birthday month? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just getting mod chat back up. Yeah, audio is totally fine. Video is periodically a little laggy, but it's not terrible. Okay, cool. Hopefully we can manage. Happy birthday to class. Quite good. My long narrative poems are growing and I have written a couple new ones. Nice one, Mark. Congratulations. I've actually been doing great for once. I am so happy to hear that, Ghost of a Goddess. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad. I'm glad. I've been very productive and have been back to writing. Hell yeah. High five, Ghost of a Goddess. Was that awkward? Maybe. First, but no, whatever, man. High five. That's awesome. First time since I discovered this channel, to be honest. I am glad that you are writing. I'm glad that you are writing. No, I was late to the chat, not the stream. To be honest, I have been here from the beginning, just late to the chat again. Are you sure? Do we believe little Danny? Happy belated birthday, class. Yeah, there we go. There we go. These past few weeks, yep. Thank you, Mark. Happy birthday for Friday. Thank you, little Danny. There we go. There's all the cake and the pancakes and the swirly cupcakey thingy. I'm just about to eat some cherry cheesecake that was just brought to me. Very, very nice. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Happy day to you too. Awesome stuff. Great. All right. Who wants to dive into some breaking news? Don't target me. I feel like I am targeting you a little bit, but that makes a difference because usually it's the mods targeting me, but not this time. This time I've flipped the switch. All right, who wants to talk some breaking news? Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Nightbot. Yes, Nightbot is with us. Okay, so as you guys know, we're going to flip over to the breaking news section, and there is opportunity for you to post your own crazy breaking news headlines. It'll be up here somewhere, I think. So get ready to do that. Breaking news. All right. We have. Oh, your time will come, Mr. Gary. Well, whatever. I don't know what to say back to that. I have a fortress. I don't know. You're asking what I'm talking about. I don't know. Okay, let's look at some cool breaking news. First off, you're wondering, Pedro Pascal? Channing Tatum? We'll get to Helen Mirren. Um, what I haven't left any clues in the title because I ran out of characters, so I just put their names, and you might be wondering what they have to do with poetry. Poet streamer turns against his moderators in a freak turn of events. Moderators, I haven't turned against Genevieve. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Right. News. Channing Tatum and Pedro Pascal write poems for Canadian musician Mustafa's book. Actors contribute to the poet and singer's anthologies, exploring ceremony, loss, and worship. Actors Channing Tatum and Pedro Pascal have written poems for a new anthology, which includes contributions by writers George Saunders, Max Porter, and Hanif Abdurraqib. I hope I said that right. The book titled Noah explores themes of ceremony, loss, and worship. Channing Tatum's poem opens, quote, "You told me God wasn't real as we sat in the water in the dark that night. I couldn't see your eyes, but I could feel the anger in the water." Um, and let me find some bits from Pedro Pascal's poem as well. Oh, there's a whole poem here from both of them. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So I'll read the two poems at the end. Let me just see um, if there's more on this book before I read the two poems and we move on. I see songwriting credits for the likes of Camilla Cabello, The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, and Shawn Mendes. Okay. His work is often focused on the impact of gang violence and the deaths of friends. He told an audience at a launch event for Noor with actor Daniel Kaluuya on Thursday evening. Wow, so many name drops. So many name drops. In my mind, I want to talk about my brother. He told George Saunders in a discussion with the author, a transcript of which is included in Noor. I just want to try. I don't want to read the whole article for you. I'm just trying to find. The book also features work by poet Noor Hindi and the musicians Daniel Caesar, and Dev Hines. All right. I'll read Channing Tatum's. Actually, that's quite long. I won't read Channing. I'll read Channing Tatum's first stanza, and then you can read the article and the poems at the bottom. Worshipping Surrender by Channing Tatum. You told me God wasn't real as we sat in the water in that dark night. Fuck. Oh, Start again. Worshipping Surrender by Channing Tatum. You told me God wasn't real as we sat in the water in the dark that night. I couldn't see your eyes, but I could feel the anger in the water. You said if there was, and that God You said if there was, and that God could let a child be violated, it was not a God worth worship. Okay, it does make sense. I was going to say, is that English? Yeah, it is. Many other things were said on many nights in that angry water, mostly talk of power soaked in booze and fear. So that's the opening stanza of that one. And then I'll read all of Pedro Pascal's because it's not too long. Untitled by Pedro Pascal. I see you, late bloomer, smoking just after sunrise for the first time, wearing pants and buying pillows, dropping cash, then leaving them lonely in a stranger's closet. Mushroom Lamp says, "What the fuck? Let me out of here." I explain to her that first I have to go back and back and back again until I understand that I will always be in love with those footprints. Fine. People smoke here because they like me. See me sitting near the bird shit, making things up that never happened, but they're cool with it. Someone tells me she was kidnapped by a man who held a knife to her neck because her sister always picks the wrong men. I tell her I was a very late bedwetter. All the other talk happens alone, never into a mirror and never to you, but to objects caught off guard by my hostility, by the shape of this grief. 11 months and only this. I'm struck by the lightning of your presence now that you are gone. Nice. So that's our first breaking news for today. Helen Mirren. Dame Helen Mirren wants to actually, before we move on, I'll just quickly check in with the chat. Danny. It's Freddo's, Adam. Freddo's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you guys aren't sure what that means, the write along, we swapped the F word, the F bomb for Freddo's. I started learning a made up language called Tokipona. Nice. Isn't all language made up? Time will tell. Time will tell. All right, let's talk about Helen Mirren. Dame Helen Mirren wants to recite song lyrics on a poetry album. Um, where's the article gone? Oh, there is no article. It's just a video. Okay, Dame Helen Mirren is hoping to release a poetry album consisting of song lyrics as she bids to earn EGOT status. Let me try and remember EGOT. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony awards. Hey, don't do song lyrics. Just email me, Helen, and I'll write some poems for you to read. Um, interesting. Why song lyrics? Why not just an album of poems? The Grammys do have a spoken word album category now. So why song lyrics? Why not just poems? As I say, contact me and I'll write some poems for you, Dame Helen Mirren. Funny story, I was with Bruno once in London and we were just killing time. We were just rambling around London and he took me to this cinema. It's like a members cinema, or at least it's got a members bar to it. And as we walked in, every door had like beefed up security guys in suits. So, oh, there must be an event going on. But we didn't pay too much mind. And as we're going up the stairs, literally Helen Mirren and her sister just walked past. And I think she was there for I've been signed out of the mod thing. That's weird. I think she was there for a premiere. So thank you, Genevieve, for sharing the links. Thank you for that heart. I just about managed to catch it. Just about managed to catch it. I'm trying to get back into the stream sheet. I don't know why it kicks me out. Why did it kick me out? Okay, I'm back in. Right. And then finally, for our breaking news, a bit of good news, at least in my eyes. Shakespeare did not leave his wife Anne in Stratford, letter fragment suggests. Professor says text shows Hathaway lived with playwright in London, upending the established idea of an unhappy marriage. It has long been assumed that William Shakespeare's marriage to Anne Hathaway was less than happy. He moved to London to pursue his theatrical career, leaving her in Stratford upon Avon and stipulating in his will that she would receive his second best bed, although still a valued item. Now, a leading Shakespeare expert has analysed a fragment of a 17th century letter that appears to cast dramatic new light on their relationship, overturning the idea that the couple never lived together in London. Addressed to good Mrs. Shakespeare, the letter mentions the death of Mr. Butts and a son, John, who is left fatherless. The letter writer thinks that Mrs. Shakespeare has independent access to money. Anyway, this document, which refers to the couple who dwelt in Trinity Lane, suggests that she did spend significant time with her husband in the capital. This is good news to me because that was the one thing. Nice. You're a legend. I'm all over. I'm pressing buttons all over the place. But thank you so much, Delgal, for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. That's 2 super chats out of 5. So we're on our way. Great stuff, Delgal. Hello, Mr. Keller. Hi, Haley. Good to see you. Glad that you could join us. No one can kick you out. Absolutely. No, so this is really good news for me in the whole Shakespeare story because that's one thing I really didn't like is that he just completely up and left his whole family in Stratford upon Avon. The man is just full of mysteries, right? Every other month there's something new that comes out that changes our thinking of Shakespeare. But I'm really glad if this turns out to be legit. I'm really glad to know that he didn't just up and leave his wife and kids to pursue his art and stuff, because that's the one thing I didn't really sit well with me. But hopefully all is well. Hey, hey. Hello back, Doc. Great. Okay, so that's our breaking news for this stream. I hope you found it informative.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you so much for those hearts in the chat. I really, really appreciate it. You're going to make a guy blush. This Adam is wild. Wild. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I'm invigorated. I'm reinvigorated. I've been traveling and I've come back a new man. Come back a new man. No, I am actually in a really good I'm in a good place at the minute. I think I spoke about it on my birthday stream actually. Thank you, Delgal, for supporting our community. Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about topic 1. Yes, little Danny, he is also delightful. Oh, thank you so much. You're gonna make me blush. Stop it, guys. Stop it. Appreciate it. Uh Topic 1, we're going to talk about the Poet's Purse. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but I am calling it that. The Poet's Purse. Poetry exercises to keep close to our chests that might help us in all that fresh air in the Lake District. You know what? You're probably not wrong. You're probably bang on the money there. Look at all those hearts coming in. Stop it, guys. I'm going to blush. I'm going to get red cheekies. The Poet's Purse. Poetry exercises. What are your favorite poetry exercises to get you out of a maybe to get you out of a tough spot, to get you out of a block, to just what do you enjoy? Let me know. Let me know because I want to learn from you guys too. You can never have too many exercises in your poet's purse. I'm gonna cement that in, guys. We're gonna it's gonna be a thing. Look at all these hearts coming in, guys. What are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, let me know your favorite poetry exercises that you use to get out of a block or out of a tough situation. I've got two off the top of my head that I'm going to share with you. One I have already shared with you, and I wonder if any OG channel subscribers, anyone who's been here for a while, I wonder if any of you know what the exercise is that I'm going to give you. One of them at least. I don't think you'll get the second one because I don't know if I've even discussed it on the channel. Yeah, Adam took some time and touched some grass. Yeah, man. I touched some grass. I love macabre kind, something between reality and madness. Nice. And do you have an exercise that kind of gets you in that place? These hearts are just constant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. They keep coming. They keep coming. I'm going to give it a minute because I am interested to see how many people can guess the first exercise that I love. And it's easy and it gets a poem every time. Doodle-doo. Sorry, I'm yawning. Boom, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Boom, boom. Boom, ba-da-dum, dum, boom, 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 boom. Erasures. When I don't feel like I can write, sometimes starting an erasure helps. I think you'll say haikus. Oh, haikus are also very good, actually. I guess hiking is, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess so. Hiking obviously helps the spirit. Um, no, so I'm thinking of more of an exercise, a poetry exercise. I do have a video on it. Erasures is a good one. This, I think it probably is. Let me open that link and see what it is. Oh, that's an ad. That's an ad. Yeah, it is that one. I love this exercise. Thank you, Genevieve, for sharing it. Write poetry anyway. It's a great exercise. Oh yeah, and it's really grounding. And I do it a lot in workshops. And I, show it to a lot of people because not only does it get a poem out of you, it's really great for grounding you. It's really great for bringing you into the moment. And yeah, so that's one of my favorite exercises. That's what I will always recommend people. If you don't want to watch the video now, thank you very much because you're watching this stream. I will explain it. So essentially you go and find yourself in a public space. You don't even have to do it in a public space. You can literally do it anywhere you want to do it. You can do it in your room, you can do it in your kitchen, you can do it in your garden, you can do it in a field, you can do it in the high street, you can do it wherever you want. If I get in the mood, I go on a haiku writing stick and rattle off maybe 20. Nice, nice. Um, yeah, I can see why that would be helpful too. So, oh yeah, you go and find yourself in a space. You take a breath. You find out where you are, and then you literally just start writing down your observations. This is some weird Dr. Seuss advice. Says you can do it anywhere. Yeah, you can. Um, you just start writing down your observations, but in a poetic manner, in a poetic way, of course. Rather, it's not a shopping list. You have to have the intention of writing a poem, right? But literally, you just write down all the things that you see, all the things that you can hear, what you can taste, maybe, um, smell, and touch what you can feel too. So it's a really, really good exercise to do. It's really, really simple. Anyone can do it anywhere. So hold on to that one if you haven't already put that in your poet's purse. Genevieve, darling, you are a true fan. Genevieve is awesome. Genevieve is awesome. You're all awesome. So the other exercise, I think it's an exercise. It might also, I guess it comes more under the label of game. Paint, chip, poetry. Paint, chip, poetry. Um, Let me just check something out for you. Do, 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 do. Let me see if I can get a link to it. Boom, boom, boom. Paint. What? Paint, chip, poetry. Oh, I'm not signed in, that's why. Uh, Paint, chip, poetry game. It's not coming up. Does it not exist anymore? Oh, maybe they discontinued it. That's not good. That's not good. It's really good. Well, that's not good that they discontinued it, apparently, from what I'm seeing, because it's a really good game. What if I tried paint chip as one word? It shouldn't really matter. No. By the looks of it, they've discontinued it, so that's a shame. That's not good. So now I need to think on my feet because I can't find paint chip poetry anywhere. Maybe if I just Googled it rather than Amazoned it. Paint, just so you guys can at least see what I'm talking about. Paint chip poetry. Oh, poetry. Okay, so it's available on eBay. So they must have discontinued it, I would imagine. But I'm going to put a link in the chat anyway, just so you guys can at least. Is it a physical product? It is, yeah. Oh, I can't even put it on. Oh no. I'm going to put it in the. I'm going to put it in the mod thing. If anyone can tiny URL it, because it's not letting me. It's not letting me send it because of characters. I've put it in the mod sheet. On button poetry too. Okay, that would make sense. I googled it and it is coming up on Amazon. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Maybe I'm just not doing a very good job. But yeah, not sponsored or anything. It's just a genuinely good thing to have. I use it in my workshops a lot. Um, and it's enjoyable. So again, yeah, no, not paid sponsorship here. I'm just sharing with you what helps. Maybe US versus UK issue. Maybe. So Mark, tell me more about your haiku sessions. Yeah, so if I get in the mood, I go on a haiku writing stick and rattle off maybe 20 haikus. I guess my doing lots of micro poems as well will probably help. Just thank you, Genevieve. Will probably just got here. Hi, Ken. How you doing? Hi, Adam. And all. You always do a good job. I really appreciate that, Ken. Thank you so much. We're just talking about poetry exercises to get things going. For part one, we're talking about poetry exercises that help with creative block or writer's block or something like that. And I was talking about an exercise that I love that gets a poem out of you no matter where you are, um, what time it is. You can always do it. And then I've just shared paint chip poetry as well. And Mark just hits the haiku hard and writes 20 haikus all in one go just to get something down, I guess. But I'm keen to learn if anyone else has any other exercises that I could maybe start Start trying. There's, I think that was 100 timed free write, and then go back and see what you've got. Yeah, yeah. I've never done this actually, but it's quite a popular exercise where you set a certain amount of time and you've just got to write whatever comes to you in that time. I have an accumulating list of 150 to 200 haiku that I just add to. Wow. You could write I mean you've got a book of haiku right there. Haiku. Cricket. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Terrible joke, Adam. You should be ashamed, and I am. Bum, bum, bum. You know what's another fun exercise? It's you can't do this on your own though. But it's a fun exercise I've come across for my morning workshops, and it's called tapestry poetry. Tapestry poetry, and basically what it is I say 40 minutes. I give 40 minutes for this. Um, and then basically you're going to write a poem in 20 minutes. This is a two-person or a group exercise, I guess, a minimum of two, but I don't see why you couldn't do it with more. Um, so 40 minutes all in, 20 minutes to write a poem on your own. You've got to give each other, you've got to have a set prompt though. So like forest or rainy day or whatever. You've got to have a shared prompt. So you're at least all writing on the same theme. 20 minutes to write your own poem, and then 20 minutes to pluck lines from all the poems that have been written to form one poem with lines from every other poem. So you weave lines from all the individual poems into something else. So that's a fun exercise to do as a group uh, that you might want to try. Why? Why? What? Why? I don't understand what you mean, Haley, by why. Why would you do a group exercise as a poet? Good question. Um we're solitary creatures. I don't know why. No, I'm not sure what you're asking why for, Haley. If you wouldn't mind just letting me know and I can answer your question better. Those hearts are still coming in. Thank you very much. I thought it was going to be something sort of like exquisite corpse. We. Yes. Another thing is to go through the dictionary and select a word or words that you wouldn't normally use and play with it. Yeah? Those hearts are still coming in. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a cool thing to do as well, and it obviously would increase your vocabulary as well if you're going through the dictionary and selecting words that you don't usually use and uh what have you. You suddenly know a lot more words than you if you do it every day for a month, you suddenly know a lot more words than you might have done at the start. Thank you so much for the likes, by the way. But if you haven't hit that like button, there's at least 10 of you watching that haven't quite hit that like button yet. I'm sure you're hovering over it. I'm sure you've been hovering over it, but you haven't quite smashed it. So please smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I have a couple of poetry exercise books. Oh, you do? Okay, interesting. Give me a minute and I'll get you their names. Yeah, that would be really, really helpful. The best thing for me to improve my contemplations is to listen to this channel. Well, thank you so much, Ken. That's very, very nice. I do really appreciate your comments. They are very supportive, and I enjoy receiving them and reading them. Those hearts have been popping off pretty much the whole stream. Thank you so much, whoever's doing that. I appreciate you. Okay, I will try new English words. Why not, Haley? Why not? Go for it. What language do you speak, Haley? Don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks, Nightbot. Okay, so for this stream, I'm going to give you all a heads up. We'll go on break in about 5 minutes. Well, a little bit over 5 minutes actually, 7 minutes. But I'm going to give you the prompt for today, which is anniversaries, because all we've all been enjoying birthdays. Not all of us, but a few of us are enjoying some birthdays. I had my birthday uh, on the 5th last week, almost on Monday. So it was this week still, Monday. Class had their birthday on Friday, and then on Tuesday, the Surrey Laureateship celebrates its first birthday. So there's lots of birthdays going on right now, lots of anniversaries right now. Those hearts are still coming in. You guys are amazing. So the prompt for the challenge is anniversaries, and the winner will get a month bronze membership over at the Poetry Cove. The Poetry Gymnasium by Tom C. Hunley and the Poet's Cookbook. Nice. I also have the 5th edition of the Princeton Encyclopedia of Poetry and Poetics. Wow, okay. That sounds impressive. Poetry Challenge prompt, anniversaries. Thank you, Genevieve. I appreciate it. Can we just get a big round of applause for the mods in the chat, please? Who always come up with links and is always sharing information in the chat and helping in our sheets behind the scenes and stuff like that. My screen is just locked for time limit. Let me do this. Oh, put the wrong password in. Oh, I've just hit 15 minutes. That's not right. So yeah, can we get a big thank you in the chat? Azerbaijani, French, Arabic, Hebrew, and Little Georgian. Wow, that's awesome, Haley. That's really, really cool. I speak English and only English, which is not impressive at all. Mr. Keller, so many thanks. And Haley's is on the 14th of May. Okay, so anniversaries is the perfect prompt. So in that case, I don't see why we can't go on break a little bit early. Let's go grab a coffee. Let's top up our refreshment. We've got some exercises to think about. 20 haikus, timed writing exercises, paint chip poetry, write poetry anywhere, which there was a link shared in the chat as well if you want to find out what that actually is. And we got some book recommendations from Mark as well. I had my birthdays many years ago. I had a birthday many years ago too. I'm just coming up with all the crap jokes tonight. I apologize. On that note, let's go and grab a coffee, shall we? I didn't have I don't know where that 5 minutes went, to be honest with you. I didn't have time to grab a drink or anything. But that's okay. We move. If I need to get a drink, then I will grab a drink at some point. So, are we back from break? My whole laptop has frozen, which is really helpful. Oh, and YouTube's crashed. Let me just refresh and see if I can get back in. All right, I'm in. Are we all met, poets? Are we back? Did you guys make better use of your break than I did? Did you grab a drink? Did you do what you got to do? Because yes, I'm back. Excellent class. Well done. Well done for being first back. Poem anniversaries bring out the best in us all. Time stops to savor. 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 I'm back too. Hello, Mark. Welcome back. Good job. Glad to have you back with us. Apologies, I've been quiet today, guys. I've been busy planning Mitch's birthday, the end of the month, and our wedding. Tame and Co. Y'all are speaking languages that I don't speak. We've had French. I'm not sure what Tame and Co is. Okay. Anniversaries. Bring out the best in us all. Time stops to savor. Thank you, Mark, for submitting your poem. Irish. That's Irish. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. What does it mean? Genevieve. Genevieve. Oh, Genevieve. No worries, little Danny. You're planning Mitch's birthday at the end of the month and your wedding. Hi, Tanya. Hello, Tanya. I didn't see you come in there. Hello, Tanya. Good to see you. Good to see you. We are just kicking off part 2 of our stream for tonight, where we're going to talk about exhaustion and burnout and lots of stuff. 3 months left until my hatching date. I am stretching the casing of my minority like an embryo in its sac, straining the binds of childhood as I start breaking free. 3 months left until I merge into the adult world, 18 years after my birth. I'm a busy girl. That's me reading Danny's thing out. I'm also a busy girl, but Danny is a very busy girl. Yeah, you got lots of planning to do, huh? But I hope it's all coming together. I hope it's all coming together. So far we have 2 poems for the challenge from Mark and Ghost of a Goddess. If you wanna quickly write something, the prompt is anniversaries. Another year in, celebrating full lived life before it all ends. That's beautiful, Ghost. Before it all ends. Yes. Mortality, folks. Oh, you say it is an anniversary. Are you expecting some kind of bursary? Well, that's too bad. No money to be had. You'll just have to accept this verse, Eri. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Genevieve. I like that one. Thank you very much. All right, we got the poems flooding in. We got the poems flooding in. All right, I'll give it until on the hour, just in case anyone is still writing, still working on their piece. Do 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 do. Your bread king Up so bad I can't understand you. Like hyphenated sayings. Is the stream doing really bad? Yeah, the stream starting off, the stream was doing really, really bad on my end. On my end, it seems to have cleared up now, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's lagging for other people for sure. It seems okay again, but it was really rough for a moment. Okay. Let me know if it gets too bad, guys. Can't tell, just joined in. I'm I might end it's oh, on my end it's pretty good. I thought that was just my own Wi-Fi. Bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum bum ba. Hi, all poetic creatures. Hello, mythical meter. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're just wrapping up our poetry challenge for this stream. The prompt was anniversaries because we have so many birthdays in the chat that have either recently passed or upcoming, rapidly upcoming. I talk really weird sometimes. I apologize. All right, one more minute left. You're okay here, Would a hot lap make things go slow? My lap is not hot. I do not have hot laps, sadly. Although I am gonna maybe go and do some leg stuff in the gym after this stream. All right, so let's read out the poems again, and then I will choose a winner for this stream's poetry challenge. First up, we have Mark Keller. Anniversaries bring out the best in us all. Time stops to savor. So that's from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Then we have um then we go to Ghost of Goddess. 3 months left until my hatching date. I'm stretching the casing of my minority, like an embryo in its sac, straining the binds of childhood as I start breaking free. 3 months left until I emerge into the adult world, 18 years after my birth. Thank you so much, Ghost of a Goddess. And then we have Class. Another year in, celebrating full lived life before it all ends. Sorry, the mod chat is distracting me. That beautiful ghost. That's beautiful ghost. And then we have Genevieve. Oh, you say it is an anniversary. Are you expecting some kind of bursary? Well, that's too bad. No money to be had. You'll just have to accept this bursary. Thank you, Genevieve. And then did we have any after that? I better just double check. All poetic creatures. No, I think that was it, right? I had a car, drove it far. I drove it to the local bar. I had a drink that made me think of why I was drinking tar. Thank you very much, L337 Q411. Laptop Adam, you were saying the stream was not good. Oh, the laptop might have been overheating. Nightbot is back in full force. Uh, 11 likes. Yes, I've got 13 on my screen actually. So thank you so much to those who have hit that like button. Oh my God, Nightbot, calm down. I just don't know how to fix him. I've tried. He's adamant. He's adamant that things aren't going to spread out. He's adamant not to spread things, his messages out, right? Um, so, drum roll in the chat, please. For all the poems. Yes, round of applause for all the poems, and then drum roll in the chat, please. That's not the drum roll sound. But if I do this, I don't think the mic will pick it up unless I go really close. I don't know if the mic picked that up. It sort of sounds like a drum roll, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway. There we go. Look at all those drumsticks. There we go. Now we're talking. Round of applause and the drum roll. Well done, all. Drum roll and round of applause. I won't do it again just in case the mic's not picking it up and then there's just silence. I think this week's poetry challenge will go to the winner will be Genevieve for what I think is a limerick. As I'm reading it, it sounds more and more like a limerick, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Genevieve. But yeah, I'll extend your membership for a month. So thank you so much for everyone who took part. If you didn't win this one, don't worry, because we do it every single week. It is a limerick. Yeah, we do it every single week. So there'll be plenty of opportunity to grab a free bronze membership for a month over at the Cove. So thank you so much. Right, let's move on to topic 2, exhaustion and burnout. Has anyone experienced this? Has anyone experienced burnout? And the mods, the mods, the mods are on fire. I keep losing my train of thought. Yeah, oh, we got trophy emojis. I didn't know we had trophy emojis. So, has anyone experienced exhaustion or creative burnout? I'm going to read from an article right now. I'll try not to read the whole thing. But it is definitely something that I have been suffering from, and I'm kind of battling. And the weird thing. Oh, what I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So I had this great relaxing time, in Budapest and then the Lake District and stuff. But now my body is putting up some fierce resistance to working, and I think it's because I had such creative burnout that I think maybe my brain is desperate not to go back there, and I'm doing my best to not overwork myself like I used to. Now that I've had a proper reset and I think about things like, whoa, what was I doing? What was I doing working so hard? But yeah, here's an article: Creative Burnout and Improving Artist Mental Health. Have you sometimes felt like you're on a roll, making art consistently every day, so madly in love with your craft until suddenly, uh, one morning, you don't want to do anything even remotely creative? As artists, it's impossible to stay productive every single day. Sometimes you have moments of, I can't do this anymore, even in a career you love. These are times when you feel you need more motivation to go through the creative routines that you otherwise look forward to. I've I've been there too, but the article says I've been there and I know you've been there too. Yeah. Even if you haven't quite been able to put your finger on it. But as they say, if you can't beat the enemy, at least be friends with it. Um, so what is creative burnout? There are days when our mind is overflowing with ideas, we're brimming with enthusiasm and confidence, so immersed in our creative careers that we lose track of time. On the flip side, we also go through times when we feel stuck, unable to either come up with good ideas or accept that our thoughts are worthwhile. Symptoms, so we've got self-doubt, frustration and irritability, procrastination, fatigue, comparisons, headache and digestive issues. So maybe you've had some of those symptoms. What can you do to ease or prevent creative burnout? Well, before I read the whole article, there's our discussion topic. What can we do to prevent creative burnout? Sometimes one needs to take a complete break from writing, reading, and come back to it after a break. Absolutely. Glitchy McGlitch face all over the place. Genevieve is still in a rhyme scheme. Who's glitching? Am I glitching again? I have in the past, but I've been on a roll that seems not to relent. And don't question that, Mark. Ride that wave, my friend. Ride that wave. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Just don't ride it into burnout, I guess I should say. Oh my God, yes, Delgado. Buy Adam his daily coffee. Adam, I know I'm going off topic, but when I watch other things on YouTube, they ask people to buy them a coffee. Your little money box doesn't have that. Just wondered. So coffee is a different thing. Coffee is a different. Uh, I think it's spelt KOFI. Coffee is a different thing. But if you want to, we can do super chat. So Delgo, you sent me a super chat. It's essentially the same thing. It's essentially the same thing. Um, and if I click this, does it tell me the super chats? No, it doesn't. I thought there was a way of checking super chats. I think there is actually. Yeah. 4.99. You've bought me a coffee tonight, Delgo, so don't worry about it. 4.99 will get me a coffee and then some. So thank you so much. But yeah, coffee is just the same thing as super chats. Uh, Chat has frozen on stream. Oh yeah, you're right. Hang on, let me just fix the chat, guys. Maybe because you guys are doing an awesome job in the chat that you've broken it. So let me just refresh it. There you go. You watch mindless movies like Yellowbeard? Nice, nice. What's your go-to feel-good movie? Mine is Shrek. I had Shrek on last night as I was falling asleep. I love Shrek. I love it. I'm so glad they're making a new one. Oh, nice. You're a legend. Thank you so much, Herb, for the super chat. That's 3 super chats. I really appreciate it, Herb. It genuinely means a lot. So thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream and the channel. That's 3 out of 5. It's all clear, though. Watched Trek last week. You did? Have you seen the musical? We're going way off topic from exhaustion. We've gone from exhaustion and creative burnout to Shrek, as we do on this channel, as we so often do. Danny just put in the mod chat. You know, you can put that in regular chat. Danny just said, I love Adam's little when he gets to push buttons. I like pushing the buttons. I do appreciate the super chat, but I also appreciate the opportunity to press buttons. Uh, not seen the stage show. I've not seen the stage show. It was on Netflix for a little while. It was fun. I watched it. I think I watched it on Christmas, one Christmas Eve or something like that. The Fifth Element or The Fountain. Um, yeah, so who can tell me? I know Mark gave a good suggestion on how to avoid burnout. Sometimes one needs to take a complete break from writing, read, come back to it. Oh, from writing, read, and then come back to it after a break. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely one way. Holidays are good, apparently, but again, then you have to adjust to getting back into work mode. But it has, yeah, taking these breaks recently have really, brightened the spirit. Made the soul happy. Having a good meditation practice helps me overall with everything. Yeah, I wish I did more meditation. I used to be quite hot on meditation, but I haven't done it for a while. I did just book a load of yoga classes at my gym. I love the Polar Express, but it's not all year. It's not an all year movie. Why not? Why not? I know what you're saying. I get that the Polar Express is better to be watched during the winter and at Christmas, but why not? I watch Halloween movies. I watch Nightmare Before Christmas in the bang in the middle of summer. Why not? Do your thing. If you love it, do it. I used to practice Tai Chi, nice, but not for a while. I tried to get into Tai Chi actually. I tried to get into Tai Chi. I was watching like YouTube videos on how to do Tai Chi. I think when you're all stressed out, you have to allow yourself the time out, just doing what you love besides writing. Yeah. Yeah. But as someone, if anyone's sitting there thinking this is all easy said than done, it's difficult when we have responsibilities and stuff like that. So I get it. I want anyone out there, anyone who's sitting on the other side of this screen, on the other side of this camera right now, who's thinking, that's all great, but I can't just stop. I get it. I get it. Responsibilities can get in the way. So just know that I see you. For me, I stop writing when I'm doing it just to be productive. I'll only write at those times when I actually want to, for its own sake. Yeah. I'm glad you're writing again, Ghost of a Goddess. I'm glad that you're writing again. Don't give yourself too many timelines. Yeah. My ADHDers out there will know how difficult that is. All right, let's see what the article says. Plan for creative slumps. Okay, interesting. Watch for some signs of creative burnout and plan for such times. Reevaluate your to-do lists. I've noticed that I invite burnout into my life when I've got way too much on my plate each day. I juggle a day job that takes up more than 12 hours, a toddler and an infant, and a surface design career. Wow. Something I've learned from my therapist is to use a post-it note that has space for only 5 tasks each day. Interesting. I used to use a post-it note and I used to be so productive. I nearly said seductive there. I used to be so seductive. I used to be so productive. And then I transferred over to a Word document, a G Drive Word document thing. And my to-do list grew from like 4 or 5 things max to about 15 things to do in a day. And then I wasn't completing them. And now I don't check that to-do list at all. So there you go. I can be a case study for that one. Take a break. Yeah, we've said that. Nobody said you have to make art every single day. Just do something else. Don't force yourself to be creative when you aren't in the right headspace. Remember, you're tired and disinterested for a reason. Switch gears. No, I'm not asking you to change your profession. As artists, we often wear many hats in our businesses. So do something else for your creative business instead of beating yourself up. Enjoy the process. Yeah, this is something I'm really leaning into in my whole transformational phase in life is enjoying the process. Everything is a process. I'm trying to slow down and enjoy just getting there, rather than I have to be there now. So enjoy the process. Not all art is meant to make you money. When you factor in art made purely for joy and playing around, you take the pressure off your plate. Set healthy boundaries. This again is something I'm trying to do, is boundaries. It is common for our work-life boundaries to get blurry. We end up overworked and exhausted. And when we forget to draw a clear line between work and personal life, learning to say no is crucial in such cases, even if you are your own boss. So that was an article by written by Priyadarshini Das Sharma, and hopefully there's a link in the chat. Knowing how awesome Genevieve is, I'm pretty certain there's going to be a link in the chat while I was reading that. For me, I stop writing when I'm doing it just to be productive. Yeah, don't give yourself too many timelines. Putting time pressure on yourself will kill your creativity. Interesting that we actually had a timed exercise that that was for the opposite purpose, right? Putting time pressure on yourself will kill your creativity. Feel a great appreciation for the separation between writing and not writing. Yeah. Thanks, Genevieve, for putting that in again. I know you did it earlier as well. I appreciate it. The yawns are out in full force tonight, although they have been a lot worse. They have been a lot worse back in the winter. Also, I have some writing related tasks like organizing my poetry folder or typing up my poems. If I do the latter, chances are I'll make some edits while typing. That's a really good. We really need a yawn counter. Yeah, I need a new button that will somehow count upwards. Um, that's your fault. That's your fault for mentioning yawning. Yeah, no, I really like that Ghost of a Goddess. Typing up the poems, you'll naturally start editing. That's good. That's a good inroad and a good way of being creative without having to tackle the blank page. Because, as we all know, the blank page is the poet's worst enemy. It's easier to edit than it is to write something new. It's a great idea, Point Ghost. I think I will write some short flash fiction. Go for it, Mythical Meter. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Write less to write more. Shorten the form when you feel overwhelmed. Haiku, micropoems, or a single metaphor a day can keep you connected to your poetic self without the pressure of a finished piece. Yeah, I think for me, micropoems are always a good inroad to anything. I always use micropoems for warm-ups in workshops and stuff because really the pressure's off, especially with a haiku. You know, if you go write 3 lines, 575 syllables, traditionally written about nature. People don't tend to be. I understand there is craft to it, but if you just do it in that low pressure instance, people aren't intimidated and they go, "Oh yeah, I can do that." And then all of a sudden they're writing and they're in their writer's uh, frame of mind, and the snowball is balling. The snowball is balling. You know. Try writing one powerful line instead of a whole poem. That's an interesting one, Mythical Meter, for sure. Yeah, try writing one powerful line instead of a whole poem. Oh, I just saw myself yawn on the playback on the preview little thing that I have on my live dashboard, and it kicked off another yawn. Damn. I suppose actually what we've done now is we've sort of combined part one's topic with part two. I mean, we're essentially talking about exercises here. So, yeah, but I do really like that typing up a goddess because I never thought about that before. Read a poet whose work is nothing like yours. Yeah, yeah. Just documentaries are a great way of feeling inspired again. At least for me, they are anyway. And I know Mark, who's at the Cove, has spoken about this on the Cove. Watching documentaries on poets and not necessarily poets, but just you know poetry and or maybe some other art forms is a good way of igniting inspiration and curiosity and stuff like that as well. Okay. Dance. Yeah, dance. Dancing like nobody's watching, as they say, right? Dance like nobody's watching is a great way to get the blood pumping, to feel good, to get the what is it, serotonin or dopamine? I don't know which one's which, but the feel good stuff. Um, just dancing is a good way to do that. Agreed. Sometimes another artist's process or studying their work can be a nice way to re-engage. Yeah, it really can. It really, really can. I'm thinking of doing some videos. They're quite popular on YouTube. You know, I tried, I tried uh Poe's writing routine for a week, or I tried Einstein's daily routine for a week. I'm thinking of doing those style of videos. You get endorphins. There you go. I said everything but endorphins from exercise like dancing. Endorphins, that's the one I was looking for. Get them endorphins. Also, like, just it's difficult. It's difficult. Okay, so this is where I find myself, right? My body is my body is putting up fierce resistance to some writing and work, I should say, is putting up fierce resistance to some work. Some work I'm doing, some work I'm not. But for the most part, my body just wants to lie in bed and just chill out, watch a series, watch a film. Um, and I've gotten through a lot of Netflix series the last few weeks. I went for a phase where I was napping all the time, but I think I've gotten to the bottom of that. When I was in the Lake District, uh, I turned around to Beats, which is Bruno's fiance. I was like, "Oh, I've been taking those magnesium tablets that you suggested. I've been taking them twice a day, and they're meant to make you sleepy." So where I was taking a magnesium tablet as soon as I woke up, I think by the afternoon, that was why I was so tired and wanted to sleep. So I stopped taking the morning one. I just take them in the evening now, and I haven't been napping as much. But I do still feel a resistance to working as much as I was before. But I have responsibilities, right? I have responsibilities. I can't just let everything go. So that's what made me say this was because I was going to say if your body just wants to sleep, then sleep. But then I stopped myself because, like myself and like many people, if not everyone here, we all have responsibilities. It would be great if your body says I want a nap and you could just nap, but that's not the world we live in. So, um, if anyone is in the chat thinking, "Oh, that's in an ideal world," I get it, I get it. But sometimes just sleeping is good. At the end of the day, we've just got to listen to our bodies more than we probably do, right? There's a fine line. There's a fine line because I say in my videos, go out and live, don't force the poem. But there's a fine line between just waiting for the poem to come to you and then having to have the discipline to sit down and go, okay, I've relaxed enough, I need to write. It's a fine line. You don't want to force anything, but you also want to be disciplined enough to make sure that we don't let the habit go completely. Okay, my preview is lagging again, and it's come up saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So if I'm getting glitchy out there in the world of the internet, I apologize. Dancing also does some interesting things for your brain that some other forms of expression and exercise don't. I'd have to dig up the article again to say more than that, though. I'm not ready yet. Of course, Tanya, of course. When does being in the zone turn to burnout? Yeah, well, this is the dangerous thing. You don't notice it. Well, maybe you have a better head on your shoulders than I do. I don't notice it until bang, it hits me. I'm like, ah. But I am kind of, this is what I mean about building myself back better. I I'm going to purposely use past tense. I'm doing this on purpose. I had the bad habit of hitting burnout and purposely not slowing down, but just working whilst burnt out. And that's why I think my body's putting up such a resistance, because it's finally relaxed. It's finally out of that toxic work that it doesn't want to go back. And I don't blame it. But this is the dangerous thing. When does being in the zone turn to burnout? For me, it's hard to notice it until it hits you, until you are burnt out. For me, I don't feel the progression of slowly wearing out. It's just like bang, brick wall. I don't know what you're saying. The connection is breaking up. I think often mental and physical health does literally start to decline. Yeah. Yeah, and as someone who doesn't usually get ill, but has been ill about 4 times in the last, well, maybe 3 times in the last 7 months. That's not like me at all. So that was a big indicator. I'm really sorry, Mark, that the connection's not the best. Okay, guys. Well, We've been alive for an hour and a half, and like, is it mayflies? Like mayflies who only live a day. Bless them. We've been live for an hour and a half. So I think we'll probably call it a stream there. So we've discussed exercises, we've discussed burnout and exhaustion, and hopefully how to combat that, or at least try to think about how to combat that. It takes longer to recover when one gets older, right? Good night, all. Good night, Tanya. Thank you so much for being here. And we're sending you our love. We're always sending you our love here at the channel. Um, so I'm glad that you popped in. And we've discussed the poet's purse. Again, I'm making that a thing. The poet's cough is still lingering. We've discussed the poet's purse and exercises. Uh, and some news. Channing Tatum and Pedro Pascal have written some poetry. Dame Helen Mirren wants to record song lyrics to turn into a poetry album. I still can't quite get my head around that. Why not just record poetry? If it's for a Grammy, right? They have a spoken word category. I don't know. I'm a bit confused on that one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you all in the comment section of Tuesday's video.